We have 2 more minutes. Now it's for real. All right. I call to order the special meeting of the Mayor and City Council at 5:55 p.m. Good evening, everyone. Welcome and thank you for being here, and thank you to everyone viewing remotely. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Sanchez is not present at the moment. Councilmember Ibarra.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Here.
Councilmember Charette. Here. Councilmember Canas.
Here.
Councilmember Flores is joining remotely.
Present.
Thank you. Councilmember Ortiz.
Here.
And Mayor Tran.
Here. Thank you. And Mayor Pro Tem, will you lead us to the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. Please all rise. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Moving on to public comments. To address the City Council, everyone must complete a speaker card and provide it to the City Clerk. Only those speaker cards turned into the City Clerk will be allowed to address the City Council. No late cards will be accepted. Each person should state their name for the record. How many speakers do we have, Madam City Clerk?
We have 3, Al Palazzo, Kim Calvin, and Christian Shaughnessy.
Thank you. If you hear your name, please approach the podium. Each speaker will have 3 minutes.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Kimberly Calvin here. Welcome, Mr. Gallardo. Hope I pronounced it correctly. Tonight is something that we have been looking forward to, moving forward here in our city of San Bernardino, but I cannot move forward without stating how disappointing it is for our council to, just in this year alone, to have gone through 3 city managers. That is very, very unfortunate that when we do have someone in the city who is good for our city and is working and has shown that we have council members then who like to make it personal and disagree when that city manager comes forward and tells the city exactly what it needs to do to move forward. Nevertheless, we are here tonight, sir, and it is about you coming to the city of San Bernardino. I have heard some good things about you, and I feel that any city that would keep you for 34 years must be that due to the fact that you're doing some great things there. So we'll be looking forward to that, providing that you're allowed to do that. And so we ask that this council would definitely allow our interim city manager to do the job that we need to have done. And that is not just to keep the lights on. There's a lot of business in this city that is happening and needs to go forward, and we need somebody with some, no. Councilmember Sanchez. Councilmember Charette has said that at least 4 times during my tenure about keeping the lights on. And I understand that you also said that to acting city manager Tanya Romo, that she was supposed to just keep the lights on as well. That has flown around throughout the entire city. So what we need to do is allow the city manager, interim, acting, or whatever capacity to do their jobs. With that being said, again, we need to be mindful of that. We will set some very, very direct expectations for our city manager, interim or acting, because that is something that we failed to do with the last acting city manager. And I think that it's pertinent when you are going to then do some evaluations. Speaking of the evaluations, this is my 3rd time coming to the podium and stating that I don't understand how the incoming city council members are going to be able to evaluate city attorney or the city clerk's office, with only having been in office for 2 months. We should have been given the opportunity to give the sitting council members some input. So if you're going to then take part in the evaluation, I just don't see how you're going to be able to do that. Going forward, it is what it is, and we are here at this particular time. I again ask that the expectations be set forward for the acting city manager, and that this take place publicly, so that the public also knows what the expectations are and will be able to evaluate as well going forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
My name is El Palazzo. Mr. Gallardo, I want to welcome you. Mayor, council members, staff. I am known. I will be here every 2 weeks asking to be part of your team. I have a vision for rebuilding this city. I guarantee you I will still be here when you decide to leave. The council members, the mayor, and the staff, and the people of San Bernardino have a right to hear my ideas. I've been trying for 50 years. I have a vision to 10 years to develop. I'm not going to give my education and background right now. However, I'm tired of these pendejadas, where every time you're looking for a city manager, you go outside of the area. For those that don't speak Spanish, we don't have qualified people in San Bernardino to run this city. Now, I have said I wanted the city manager job. I have said I don't want the job because I can't follow the revolving door. To be truthful with you, I'm retired. I would like to just work a few hours a week at minimum wage, share my ideas, put on workshops for the dais, the policymakers, elected officials, and put on workshops for the people. We need to empower the people in San Bernardino. They will transform their lives with the ideas that I will put on the table, and they will transform this city. If you deny them from hearing my ideas, in essence, you're saying you do not want to elevate the people in San Bernardino. The foundation of my vision is affordable housing. Mr. Chapa gave me the honor of coming to one of my workshops. But on that, no other city has 1,000 square blocks of oldness. Let's compare it to Rancho Cucamonga, less than a dozen Rancho has. We have 6 major commercial streets. I can rebuild this downtown. I'm now advising Mr. Lee on the Fox Theater of downtown in the downtown. No money, no contracts. I'm not in it for the money. I said I would not take a penny more than the mayor's salary, and what difference after you decide to leave can go to youth groups. I'm not in it for the money, but I will be here every 2 weeks, not needling you, begging you. trying to do everything. I am frustrated. Some people say, Al, you scare people because you're your passion. Well, we're adults here in the room. This city needs a lot of work. All I want is to present the ideas. They deserve to hear these ideas. There are 3 of you on that dais, and there might be more who will take my tour. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Good evening, folks. Christian Shaughnessy here. I was originally going to give a public comment regarding an experience one of my young folks had with a hate crime, unfortunately, but because it's a special meeting, I can't quite get into detail with that at the current moment. But Mr. Gallardo, I just want to say that you did indeed have a very long tenure at your previous city, and I know San Bernardino can be a very spicy city. You may have heard a great deal about us, but we're a city with a lot of love, and so I welcome you to the city of San Bernardino, and I wish you very well here. So, thank you.
Thank you. Are those all the comments, Madam City Clerk?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to discussion items, we have 2 items. The first item is adoption resolution number 2025-247, appointing an interim city manager.
Move to approve.
Can we begin with staff's presentation? Any presentation? There's a motion.
Mayor?
Yes.
I understand that Mr. Gallardo has some information that he would like to share with you, and I think you should hear it before you vote. And so I would invite you to give him an opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. Mr. Gallardo?
Yes, thank you, Mayor and City Council and city staff and the community for the opportunity to be your interim city manager. If I may, I want to introduce my family that came here in support of this effort. Behind me is my beautiful wife, Karina, my son, Nick, daughter, Veronica, Renee, her boyfriend, and my grandson, Raiden. As anyone knows, it's not just one person that helps define and make you, and without their support, I wouldn't be here today. As you know, I retired in December from the city of Brea, and this opportunity came very, very quickly. And I checked with that family there and their support, and they encouraged me to be here. It's my way of sorts of giving back to this community. I am a resident for so many years that I gave to the city of Brea. So now it's my turn to turn the table and give this support to this community. I take this interim role with enthusiasm and with purpose. My start date will be just as soon as we get confirmation from CalPERS that all is in order, and I hope to start early next week, maybe by midweek. I want to thank the City Attorney's Office, also the HR office for doing all they can to get everything in order and off to CalPERS. I'll close by saying my commitment to you all is I will work diligently to become a valuable resource for the city, council, staff, and just as importantly, maintain crucial relationships with the community, City Hall, and the various agencies you deal with. This is an important time of transition for the city, and I look forward to working with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gallardo. Councilwoman Ortiz, I do see you want to speak on this item.
I do, thank you. Welcome. I'm so excited to have you, and it was unanimous for you to be here. And so I want to make sure, and I know you just shared your concern, I want to make sure that our resolution doesn't do anything that would interfere with you being here. And so one thing is that, as you were saying, your official day would be starting sometime next week. But our resolution has you starting effective today. And the CalPERS requirement for the 100-day extension period, it says that we submit the documents to CalPERS before the employment begins. And so what I hope is that if they see effective today, and it's 6 o'clock on a Friday, they're not getting this till Monday, that they're going to believe your employment began today. And they also have to receive the executed and signed resolution, a copy of the employment agreement or the personnel paperwork, and then a publicly available salary schedule listing the comparable vacancies. Sure. And so I want to make sure that, and then I just saw, literally, had we sent this, if we would have started on time at 5:30, we did not have the job description posted. It is now just posted, but if PERS was looking. So right. What I don't want to ever see is you compromised in this. So can we, City Attorney, and as well as We have that this position became vacant effective February 5th. And what date, what is that in reference to?
Councilmember Ortiz, the date that this position became effective was actually February 11th. Let me welcome up our Human Resources Director,
Okay.
Andrea. She can speak more about that as she put the staff report together for us. Thank you.
Hello, Mayor and Council. On the date, it would have been vacant as of the last day that Mr. Montoya was on payroll. So that date is incorrect in the
So
staff
May
report.
21st of 2024.
Correct, correct. That is the correct date.
So then, I guess we'll make a motion for corrections, or can we just, administrative?
You can make corrections.
So can I make a motion to correct the official vacancy date as of May 21st of 2024?
Correct.
And then also amend the start date. Are you comfortable with next Friday or next Thursday? Or do you just wanted to say upon certification of PERS?
I would like to say upon certification
Okay,
from
and then-
CalPERS. I could be starting on Tuesday. If they clear it on Monday, I'm yours.
Good, I hope Monday. So then, and in addition to making the effective hire date upon the approval of CalPERS.
Yes, Councilmember Ortiz will make those changes within the resolution.
City Attorney, that's
And I will
good?
second that.
Yes, that's fine.
Perfect.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second with those revisions in the resolution. Please call for the votes.
I'm sorry, who was the second?
Councilmember Canas?
Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Councilmember Charette? Yes. Councilmember Canas?
Yes.
Councilmember Flores?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz?
Yes.
And Mayor Tran?
Yes.
And then one last thing, HR. So the salary schedule is absolutely correct online for the base salary, and we are in adherence of paying hourly of $160 and something cents, even though there's only one step indicated.
That's correct. That is the hourly amount that is associated with that monthly salary that's published.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Council. Congratulations, Mr. Gallardo. Thank you so much for your commitment to come to San Bernardino, and thank you to your family. Thank you so much for your commitment as well. So thank you. Congratulations. Moving on to item 2, actually move on to consent calendar, items 2 to 3.
Second.
There, I have Councilmember Ortiz has a question for both. Pulled. Any other council members other than Councilmember Ortiz? Okay, Councilmember Ortiz.
Real quick for number 2, and forgive me, I wanted to ask this on Wednesday. I see that the HR director has a signing authority over the checks, and I wanted to see, is that it hadn't been a standard practice? Why is it just, how come now?
In the absence of a city manager and deputy, that could occur. I'm not sure now at this point. Let me invite Jeannie Fortune, our interim finance director, to speak on that further.
I am so sorry, Mayor, City Council, Jeannie Fortune from the Finance Department. I think this was something that was suggested, I would say within the last 2 years, just because of the turnover with the city manager, the acting, the deputy. What we don't want is to be left without any signature authorities, because our paychecks, our checks that we issue our vendors have to have a 2-name minimum. So what we did was make sure that we have at least that many, that we don't run out of names. As you can see, we have to always come back with new resolutions for all our banking institutions. That is required by them. Okay.
So as soon as we fill permanent, then the administrators in the city manager's office will retain that signing authority. Wonderful.
That is correct.
All right, Andrew, that's a lot of responsibility. Congratulations. I guess move to approve consent item 2.
What about 3? Do you have any questions on? Oh,
3?
Yes.
So in reading, welcome, sorry, I forgot your name. I'm sorry, Mr. Wendell, I'm sorry. Welcome. So one of the things I was looking at is in your contract, there is no mention of you working with the city manager. It has you answering to the council, as well as the city attorney, finance. Is that a normal thing not to work with the city manager?
Point of order, please.
Councilmember.
Point of order,
No.
please. I
Councilmember.
think if we're going to discuss these issues.
Councilmember, you're
it's
not recognized. You're not recognized. Councilmember
not a
Ortiz is
simple-
speaking. Councilmember, you're not recognized. Thank you.
It's just because it's a public contract, so I want to question the
Correct.
public.
So it looks like Mr. Gallardo would like
Yes,
to respond.
thank you, Mayor and Council. We just spoke a few minutes before the council began, and we just talked about how we're going to work together and make sure that he, along with myself, are giving updates to the city council as we move along with negotiations. So we're going to do that. Written in or not, we're going to do that.
So then I just would, so that we, for the purpose of transparency and working, in accordance with your contract, I would just like to make a motion just to add the language of the city manager into the contract so that it's clear and no one's going to say, well, there's any violations. And then I also wanted to know, with you answering directly to the council, and I know that some council members may or may not have any type of monetary contributions from unions. Is there any potential conflict of interest with that? Have you ever come across that? I just want to make sure we're good.
No, I've not come across that issue, and I think it's actually fairly common.
Okay. Okay, so then I guess the only thing I'd ask my fellow council members is just to amend the contract, just to say approve it, but amend it to add the language of city manager into it.
Move to pull the item
Thank you.
from consent, move the balance. If we're going to we're going to change the language in a consent item, it needs to be pulled from the consent calendar and then voted on separately. That's what I'm trying to point out, Mayor, but you wouldn't let me speak to.
Because you weren't recognized, sir. Okay. Thank
You
you.
can say it nicely, though. It's okay.
So pull the item.
There's a motion to pull the item. Is there a second to pull? Okay. Yes?
He can pull an item for discussion. He does, and we can move the balance. We've done that all the time. I don't think there's ever been a vote to approve pulling an item. Is there?
No, I think he's trying to pull it off completely and not approve it.
No, pull it from consent.
I see. Okay, thank you,
He wanted to
Councilmember.
pull it from
All right.
consent for discussion
Okay.
purposes. So I'll move the balance, which is one other item.
There's a motion to move. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Councilmember. Please call for the votes.
Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Councilmember Charette? Councilmember Canas?
Yes.
Councilmember Flores?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz?
Yes.
Thank you. Now we can discuss further item number 3.
Okay, so I just want to clarify. All I'm asking is that, just like we did in the other contract, we just amend it to make sure the language of the city manager is there so that there's no question as to any conversations you guys are allowed to have, and that you will still report directly to the city council for any final decisions. If anybody okay with that.
Mayor, if I may, I was looking through the agreement as you were discussing, and the agreement's scope in Exhibit A states that the consultant will take direction from the mayor and city council. It also states that the consultant will acknowledge they are working with the city council and city staff, and will have the city attorney participate in the labor negotiations. City staff, I think, covers the city manager. I don't see a need to add it, but of course, if that's what you would like, you can.
Thank you. I think it's helpful to clarify that, to be clear. Thank you.
Would that be your understanding, that you would be city staff or city administrator, or would it?
Yes, I am part of city staff.
Okay, if that works for you. I just want to make sure that there's no issue with you being involved, because you have a
I
very,
will be
very good
involved.
resume on that, so, thank you.
Thank you. All right.
I move to approve.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Call for the votes, please.
Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Councilmember Charette? Yes. Councilmember Canas?
Yes.
Councilmember Flores?
Yes.
Councilmember Ortiz?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Council. Welcome, Mr. Wendell. I know the unions and the labor are very eager to meet with you, so let's get that going because contracts are expiring June 30th. Thank you. Congratulations. All right. We will, yes. We will now move on. Actually, we will convene to closed session now. Is that correct? Okay. Closed session. We are back from closed session at 7:24 PM. Mr. City Attorney, anything to report?
There is no reportable action, Mayor. That concludes my report.
Thank you. The meeting is now adjourned at 7:24 PM. The next joint regular meeting of the Mayor and City Council and the Mayor and City Council acting as the successor agency to the redevelopment agency and the Mayor and City Council acting as the San Bernardino City Housing Authority and the Mayor and City Council of the City of San Bernardino acting as the San Bernardino Joint Powers Finance Authority will adjourn to the regular meeting to be held on March 5th, 2025 at the Feldheim Central Library located at 555 West 6th Street, San Bernardino, California, 92401. Closed session will begin at 4 PM. Open session will begin at 5. Good night, everyone.